Good morning and happy Wednesday. You know what day it is. It's Hump Day. Mike. So I was sitting there talking to my team yesterday. They all got young kids, and I realized something. Do you realize that the snow day is no longer a thing? Snow days are now gone because if there's snow, they can just Zoom school. I mean, think about that for a minute. If you are my age or even the next generation, I'm 55, almost 56, even if you're in your 30s and 40s, you remember the greatest thing in the world, and that is a snow day. You would wake up in the morning and there would be snow, and you would think to yourself, oh my God, maybe I don't have to go to school today. And you would watch the ticker across the bottom of the TV screen, and it was like winning the lotto if all of a sudden your school popped up and school was canceled and you had a free day where you could go out and play in the snow. And that is now gone. Kids nowadays will never experience a snow day. If it's too much snow, they pop on their device, whatever it is, and they still have school. Oh my God. What's the point of that? The point is we can always figure out what is wrong to focus on, and we can also figure out what is great to focus on. You know, humans are deletion creatures. Most of what's going on around us, our brain doesn't take in, and we only take in what we tell it to take in. So if you want to find things that are bad, boy, you can always find them. You can always find out what's wrong. This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. And a lot of people do that. Now, I'm not saying to live with rose-colored glasses and never pay attention to reality. You've got to pay attention to reality. But if all we focus on is what's going wrong, then you're never going to get anywhere in life. You also have to focus on what is going right. You know, I talk a lot about how we're so good at beating ourselves up, but we're not good at giving ourselves credit when we do something right. That's one part of that. But the other part of that is to start out every day with gratitude and to finish every day with gratitude and to look at the things that you're grateful for. And it's very easy to get wrapped up in all kinds of nonsense that, quite frankly, isn't going to matter at the end of the day. When you're on your deathbed and looking around going, you know, this is it, a lot of the stuff that we worry about isn't really going to matter. You know, did it matter if your kid was 3 minutes late to soccer practice? No, it really didn't matter. Does all the other crap that we worry about on a regular basis, most of it at the end of the day, really matter? And the answer is no. And likewise, the things that we get stressed about, we don't sit there and take a look at the things that we take for granted. One of the great things of my job is it keeps life in perspective. On a weekly basis, I meet a new family who in the blink of an eye, because of a wreck, loses a family member or somebody is paralyzed or somebody is dramatically injured and their life is permanently altered. And that very much keeps things in perspective. You know, when you're talking to somebody who loses a husband or loses a child in the blink of an eye, then, you know, things like, oh, well, the water bill didn't get paid on time or whatever just really don't seem quite as important. And you can step back and take a look at and say, you know, life is really pretty good. You know, I get to live in this area. I have a roof over my head. I have all the food that I need. I have my health. Remember, a person who has their health has a million dreams. A person who doesn't have their health only has one. So stop and always appreciate at the start of your day and at the end of your day the things that you do have in life that are going well, the people that you have in your life that you love, the things that you have that other people in the world would do anything for, the roof over your head, hot water, the ability to go get whatever food that you want. I talked to a good friend of mine who the other day who went to prison for a period of time in his life, went down a path and ended up going to jail for quite a while and then came out and now is doing great. And he and I talked about that, about how, you know, little things like, you know, being able to use a bathroom and have a door where you're alone in a bathroom, how much that is appreciated. Being able to sleep in a bedroom without a whole bunch of other people, being able to go eat a decent meal, being able to decide when you go eat the meal. Because one of the things about prison isn't just the accommodations. That's really not what gets you in prison. What gets you is you don't get to decide when you do anything. You don't get to decide when you make a phone call. You don't get to decide when you go take a shower. You don't get to decide when you go eat. So if you have a family member that's ill or some sort of crisis is going on, you don't get to just say, well, I'm going to go pick up a phone and call them. You have to wait until you get permission to do that, which could be days before you get permission to go make that phone call. That's what's treacherous about being in that situation. And so my conversation with him is, he goes, man, he now he's remarried, he's got a family, he works very hard, he's got a great job. And he says, man, every day I get up and I appreciate a shower with hot water where I'm by myself. I appreciate little things like that. So remember to appreciate all the little things that you have in life that many people in the world don't have access to and don't have, and live in that area of gratitude. We still need to look at the things that are wrong in the world and the things that need to be fixed and the things that are wrong in our life and the things that need to be fixed. We don't look at rose-colored glasses. But one of the problems is don't just only focus on that and don't focus on everything else. Whatever you focus on is what's going to expand in your life. Where focus goes, energy flows. So if you want to increase your health, focus on it and it'll increase. If you want to increase your finances, focus on it and it'll increase. Same with your relationships, same with everything else. But when we focus on it, look at what's wrong, but then focus on where you want to go. You don't want to drive down the road looking at the rearview mirror. And people who are successful spend a short amount of time on discovering what the problem is and a large amount of time on looking at solutions to the problem. They don't just keep talking about the problem. Here's the problem, here's the problem, here's the problem, here's the problem. Yes, we know what the problem is. Where are we going to go from here? How can we fix it? How can we make it better? What can we do in order to move forward to the next thing? When you focus on solutions, then that's where your energy is going to flow and that's what's going to expand and you're going to be able to move on to the next thing. And if you're over the age of 30 and you can't think of anything to appreciate that you got to experience a snow day and no other kid in North America is going to get to experience that ever again. What a tragedy. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.